Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me is John Phillips, co-founder of PredictIt, to discuss the stock market of politics and what it's pricing in as the U.S. national election continues to play out. John, it's great to see you as always. Welcome back to Trade Talks.
Thanks, Jill. It's good to be here.
All right, and as always, let's get a quick review of PredictIt and how investors use it.
Sure. So PredictIt is the stock market for politics. It is structured as a $1 winner-take-all contract where two people on opposite sides of a trade, one who thinks something's going to happen, the other who doesn't think something's going to happen, they negotiate a price between a penny and $1, and that share, the winnings, the complete dollar goes to whoever gets it right.
And what is the data saying now with Vice President Biden, with over 300 electoral votes, Georgia getting recertified? It sounds as if GOP leaders are getting on board with kind of moving beyond at this point. What's the data showing?
Well, it's so interesting because there still is still are people who think that it could go the other way. At least if the odds they're long odds, but then of course there's a bigger payoff if it goes the other way. But usually in almost all of our markets, there's an assumption that Biden is going to be sworn in on January 20th. But that's not to say that there aren't opportunities on either sides of those trades.
Now, what are you seeing in terms of Senate, House trends with Georgia's special vote that'll be coming up?
Well, the specials are sort of interesting, and I'll get to the specials in just a second, but I was going to start with really GSA ascertainment, which of course is the process by which the GSA ascertains who won the election, and that there's sufficient evidence of that, and then they release funds that make other things possible for the transition. And the ascertainment market is just so interesting because it's you would think that by this point opinions would be solidified, but you can pick a week when you think ascertainment is going to take place, and any time from this week coming up to the week before Christmas, they're about even odds, about 1 in 5 odds that ascertainment will be certified on each of those weeks. So there's no consensus there, but you can purchase a bracket for about 20 cents. There's also some interesting things going on with respect to the cabinet positions. In the AG position, which could be filled, which could be see a nominee from the Biden President-elect Biden's camp this week. Lisa Monaco for the AG is trading at 37 cents, meaning if she does get confirmed as the AG, that 37 cents will pay $1. On the other hand, you can take the other side of that trade for 63 cents that she won't be confirmed and in the office by March. There's also in the one I've been following is who's going to be Secretary of Labor on March 1st of 2021. And there's been a lot of talk about Bernie Sanders, but he's trading at only 8 cents that he will be the Secretary of Labor. Now, there are probably some logic behind that. But the one that traders think is going to be Secretary of Labor is Marty Walsh at 28 cents, followed by Julie Su at 19 cents. And then back to those Georgia elections that we were talking about. Well, so the special election with Loeffler and Warnock, you can buy either one of those at 16 cents today, and they've been sort of going back and forth. There's also the possibility you can buy Loeffler to win, and that would be Loeffler to win by 1 to 2 cents, or 1 or 2%, or Warnock to win by 1%. You can also pick a broader margin. So there's lots of different scenarios by which the election will still play out. This is going to continue to be interesting through the election. And the one that I like the most, I saw my friend Frank Luntz on CNBC this morning, and he had the most interesting research that had been performed in terms of this chasm between the Democrats and Republicans in terms of what you fear most. And Republicans, generally speaking, would fear an IRS audit more than getting the coronavirus. And the exact opposite is true of Democrats, registered Democrats. They fear getting the coronavirus more than getting an IRS audit. I don't know that there's a relation between getting an IRS audit and getting the coronavirus, although that would have to be a very bad chain of events for anybody to get both.
That is quite interesting. My physical reaction to that was like, wow, but it really is amazing to see how these markets work. It's almost like prop bets in football, American football, you can bet on anything from, super time, halftime show. It's amazing all these different kinds of bets that you can make minute to minute and quarter to quarter. So it's so interesting to watch this play out in politics as well.
It really is. And depending on, there's the presence of President Trump in all this and his, what he's communicating. And the interesting thing is his communications between now and the time of the January 5th with special election in Georgia, his communications as to the legitimacy, what he sees as the legitimacy of the election being an issue, that will affect the Senate races in Georgia. Because if you tell people that so the theory goes, if you tell people that the elections are rigged and it doesn't matter if you go to vote, you're going to be actually suppressing your own vote in all likelihood. And that's something that nobody wants to do in a tight race.
All right, John, great to see you as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks.
Thanks very much, Jill.
You got it. And thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.